What is going on, everybody? Welcome to day 30 of the 0 to 100K AI agency series. In today's video, I'm going to go through what I did today, some key data sets that you can take away from as an entrepreneur or business owner so you can improve and not make the same mistakes I did and learn from me as I scale my agency from $0 to $100,000. Big update today. We upsold our clients for $2,000. So now we're at 6K cash collected on the series. Huge upsell today. A lot to talk about on that side of the boat. So let's get into what we did today, put this in 2x speed. This is going to be a good one. Let's jump into it. So today's actions that we got done, it was a little bit more of the call was at like 11. So we did a lot of meticulous prepping for that. Got a really good talk track for it. We did the upsell call. Okay. And then we did a couple client optimizations, at least for the most part on our side of the boat. We're going to get more full-fledged into them tomorrow. And I did that. Upsell call went really well. His numbers have been really good. He's been seeing great results. And we kind of just said, hey, here's what we can do to make the results even better and how we can maximize conversions based on where we're at. And then gave him the price and boom, we're ready to rock. Software MVP. So we're basically building out, like, at least at the start, it's going to be like just a tracking software for our clients so they can see numbers. They can go in there and book calls with us, and they could potentially see other upsells we could provide them with as well directly in that software, which I think would be a really cool additive. So we're kind of getting into that as an MVP at scale. The goal is to actually turn that into like a full-fledged like system where they can start running different systems we provide them with within that software as well. So super simple, kind of just tracks each client that we have at scale. We want to turn it into something that actually helps us fulfill as well on the admin side, but it's also very valuable on the client side. That's more what we're worried about right now, is just the client side, making sure everything's dialed on there. Then I did a little growth operating for my homie. He's a sales guy, kind of getting his funnels mapped out, how he wants to monetize, what the strategy looks like behind there. Kind of helped him out with that today. It was fun getting back into the growth operator mindset of like thinking about, okay, how can we structure this? What's the best way to do this and run this based on your goals? So we were able to do that, kind of a little bit of consulting in a sense for the homie. So he's in a good path. We're going to be potentially working with him very soon to help him out with his offer. And then also planning for the week ahead and then recording the day 30 video. So pretty good day today. Didn't get as much done as I would like to, but it was a very important day here just on the upsell side of things and also the client ops. So moving forward, making progress. That's all you can say at the end of the day. Some key data sets from today. First one being, if they buy once, they will buy again. So this is probably one of the biggest ones that I took away from today is if they buy once, they will buy again. And I say that because the guy that we upsold today, he bought from us once. Right. And it was very easy for him to say yes again. Like once they buy from you once, right, and the solution you present to them solves more of their problems and helps them get a higher ROI from that thing, they will buy again. It's that simple, right? Go to the clients you already have and see what other value you can deliver them, especially if you've already delivered them results and value. They're going to be that much more susceptible to want to buy from you. Okay. Very, very key thing. If you want to instantly kind of collect some more cash within your agency, don't go hunt out new customers. Go to your existing customers, right? And see what you can provide them with value-wise, right? It's so much easier to cash collect when you're doing that and providing your current clients with more value. And they're more than happy to hop on a check-in call. They're more than happy to, get into a call where you can kind of break into their numbers, see what you can actually help them lift on a high level. And number 2 is the prospect buying cycle. So I learned this from Hermosi. I was watching a video. He basically said that you could kind of look at like the prospect side of things as like a timeline, right? So like you have like your first, I guess we could say it's a year. So each of these is a quarter. So that's 1 quarter, 2 quarter, 3 quarters, the 3rd quarter, and then the 4th quarter. Okay. So let's say they buy from you like right here. They're going to have a bunch of other things that they need to buy, and they're going to all make those decisions within that 1st quarter to 2nd quarter. Okay. And they're going to need them either way. So you can either be the guy that provides those solutions for them, or they're going to go find it from somebody else. But since you already sold them on that one thing, you got them into your ecosystem, you can now give them each other little thing that they need and extrapolate a lot of value from this customer, right? And get money, right? Get paid more on the back end and actually make that money back on the back end, because it doesn't cost you any more to get this guy. You already got him. You already paid for the customer. You might have liquidated, or maybe you hit like a 5x return on the front end, depending on what your metrics look like and your CAC. But on the back end, it's all profit. It's all profit. So if you can upsell $10,000, $20,000 on the back end on top of the retainer they're already working with, the LTV is huge. LTV is absolutely insane for a client. So Hermosi basically said like prospects buy once and they like there's a season to it. Like they buy everything pretty much like right away. And then they don't just like, oh, let me buy this one thing in the 1st quarter, then let me buy in the 2nd quarter, then the 3rd. They want to get everything taken care of now. Like a good analogy he uses, a runner, right? A runner goes into a store to get shoes. right? They're going to need to get they're going to have to get a headband. They're going to have to get, the thing that puts your phone on the side. They're going to have to get, you know, running shorts, running shirt, maybe sunglasses, right? Water bottle. Like there's so many other things that they need to actually be good at running and to like fully be into the running thing. But once they buy those things, they don't really need them again, right? So like all the decisions happen up front. So that was like a huge takeaway that I had today. And I like literally pretty much proved the concept of it. Like they want to make that buying decision up front. They want to make that happen up front. You know what I mean? So super huge concept to look into there, and just a cool thing to kind of see materialize in my head is just like, damn, this is facts, right? He also put a lot of value off of that into like the onboarding side of things and how to actually keep a client long term and help smoothen out that onboarding process to make it really effective. He was talking to about it in like the terms of a SaaS company, like multi-million-dollar SaaS company. You can still take that away from you. And because software as a service is kind of the same as an agency in a sense, a little bit, the concept's there, right? But you can kind of take that and run with it for a smaller agency as you start scaling, and think about those things as you go down the line. Like you don't have to implement everything, but you can at least extrapolate some key data sets from there. And that's something that I really learned today that I thought was super cool, is like they want to buy everything right away, right? So give them everything they need to get that desired outcome. There's more. There's always more stuff you can sell somebody, and they're in the cycle to buy it, right? If you do that within the first 90 days and you get them everything they need, you're going to have a huge LTV coming your way. And then the third thing is that high ticket needs trust. So this is kind of one of the things we realized with our client with his funnel. So our conversion rate from landing page view to actual opt-in was just around 2%, which isn't the best. Okay. And we realized, okay, well, the ads are getting attention. So like the front end is working really well. The top of funnel is working really well, but the middle of funnels where we're kind of hiccuping. Right. And we figured the best solution to actually optimize that hiccup in the front end and actually 2x, 3x the conversion rate and get twice, 3 times the amount of lead flow we're getting and get a cheaper CPL based on the traffic we're seeing is implementing VSLs, kind of allowing them to put a face to the name. So we basically allowed that for our client to, we're scripting out a couple of videos for him to post for each funnel vertical that we're implementing for him and we're running. So that way they can put a face to the name. He can kind of talk about the process, little background. At least they can kind of put a face to the name based on who they're actually working with and who this guy is, what this company really is. So we're implementing that. That's going to be a huge effective process to implement. So that way we can boost conversions and get in more leads over time from this system. So high ticket needs trust. Even in like the agency side, like you can't do a faceless VSL, bro. Like you need to, you got to put your face out there, right? You got to put a face to the name, right? People have to trust that. So that was a huge takeaway today. You need trust, especially if you're selling high ticket on the front end. If you're selling something low ticket on the front end, you don't need as much like high ticket, like face of the name trust stuff. But if you're selling high ticket right off the bat from cold traffic, you need to get your face out there. You got to put as much trust elements in there as you possibly can. And then this is something that I was saying. I know I was kind of contrarian to short form content, like a little bit biased to it, but I'm split testing right now. So right now I'm posting 2 short forms every day, clipped up from these YouTube videos. And I'm implementing just trying to see split test wise, like I have so much content I'm just sitting on. And kind of the thesis I have is, okay, short form is for attention, but the real money you make is from YouTube or long form, right? So short form just kind of gets people into your ecosystem more efficiently than YouTube content would in a faster time period, right? Because YouTube, it takes months and months and months to actually build up that brand and actually scale it. I would say even probably a year, depending on where you're at and depending on how much social proof you already have in your space. But short form content, you can post pretty much whatever the fuck you want and just make sure you're kind of grasping at least a broader market. And even 1%, even 0.5% of the people that see that short form video go into your bio, they're the right person. They're going to click onto your YouTube if you have a good CTA set up to actually engage into your long form content. And that just brings new people into your ecosystem. So that's something I've implemented and I'm going to start pushing is short form content, and then just linking people to, hey, watch the full video, link in bio. They can go in, binge this entire series that I'm making right now. So that way, I can get more qualified buyers into my market, right? And also more people that resonate with me, and also scale my subs and scale my YouTube in the process, right? Like short form is definitely a great tool to make you money, but it's not something you should solely rely on to make money. So that's kind of the realization I've come to with short form versus long form content. And I was very bearish to short form content, but now I understand why people are doing it that way, right? It just speeds up the attention capture for long form content and also allows you to make more money over time. And then number 5 is let the numbers tell the story. The numbers will tell you exactly where you need to go. The numbers will tell you everything, right? Like once you have data on it, okay, how much does it cost me to acquire a customer? Okay, $300 to acquire a customer. So if I spend $300 on ads a day, I should get a customer a day. Or if I spend $100 on ads a day, I should get at least a customer to 2 customers a week, right? So if you understand those numbers, you can understand how you can scale. The numbers tell you how you can scale. If you're not tracking the numbers in your business, you're never going to know what you need to do to scale. You're never going to know how much money you need to put in to get a specific amount of money out, right? Especially with paid traffic. Even in even in, warm traffic situations, this is ideal as well, right? Like with organic content, if that's what you're solely monetizing off of, you need to understand the numbers so you can understand what you need to optimize and also understand when you can scale and what the math looks like to scale, right? Like if our cost to acquire a customer is $300, right? Obviously, granted, I know costs to acquire customers can rise and it's very sporadic in some cases, but if our average is $300, it's like, okay, bet. So I just need to spend $100 a day and I can get 2 clients, a week. How many clients is that a month? That's 8 clients a month at $6K each. Do the math. That's how you actually scale the business, right? So the numbers tell the story, bro. Build up a lovable system, build up some sort of MVP, even a Google sheet, and make sure you're tracking your numbers, making sure that you know exactly what success looks like for you and you know exactly what a cost to acquire a customer looks like for you. So that way you can scale dependably with the numbers backing it up. And you can actually be confident in what you're doing and how you can actually scale the business. Then number 6, consistency wins every single time. It's a no-brainer, bro. Consistency always wins. If you can stay consistent with something, you're going to win, really, at the end of the day. I mean, I've been consistently, and consistency is I feel like it's a very broad term. In order to be consistent at something, you have to be able to stay consistent when things are bad and also when things are good, right? Very different. When things are good, it can be harder to stay consistent. When things are bad, it's relatively easy to stay consistent unless you start getting in your head. Right. So you got to just keep consistent all the way through. Right. It's going to be hard once you start making that money. You're like, oh, money's just coming to me. I can stop doing all this shit. But that's when you start losing your grip, bro. And that's why a lot of people end up failing and falling back down to zero because they don't keep the consistency that actually got them there. Right. And that's consistency while indulging in failure. Right. Staying consistent even though things aren't working and you're falling flat on your fucking face. Like you got to stay consistent through and through. You got to see it through, my boy. You got to see it through. If you don't see it through and if you don't stay consistent through it all, you're not going to get anywhere in life. So just a very good life and business lesson based on anything you're pursuing. Number 7, bro, there's hella fucking noobs out there, dog. Hella noobs. My feeds like optimized, like, because we were running for landscapers and I was like kind of opting into a bunch of landscapers funnels. There are so many people running marketing for landscapers. It's like fucking absolutely insane. I've been seeing a lot of guys like marketing on my feed. That's why I love Instagram because I can just go on here. Oh, this guy's running a business. He's running paid traffic. How good is his funnel? I clicked onto this guy's funnel today and I looked at the funnel. He had a VSL on there. The funnel looked like it was built in Go High Level. So much text. Like I didn't even know what to fucking look at. And I scroll down. It's just all text, all text, all text, all text. And then the reviews are like at the bottom of the page. And this guy's just got testimonial texts on there. And I'm like, dude, who the fuck is going to believe that? Like, who the fuck is going to scroll all the way down and see that testimonial stuff, bro? Like a good funnel, bro, a good funnel is headline, subheadline, VSL, fucking CTA, social proof out the ass. That's really all a funnel really needs to be, especially on the top of funnel. I mean, you can get more sweaty in the middle of funnel if you want to, but like that's all a funnel needs to be. Like everyone's like, oh, ChatGPT is going to write me a bunch of copy and I'm going to get a fucking 20-page funnel that I can fucking just put and everyone's going to want to read through all the copy. No, bro. No one's reading shit nowadays, bro. You got to put everything into your VSL. And I saw this guy's funnel. I was like, bro, his ads are solid. Like it looks like he's got a decent amount of money, but he does not know how to run paid traffic at all. And I know there's a lot of people that don't know what the fuck they're doing. Even with AI, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. AI does not help you do better at not knowing what the fuck you're doing. You know what I mean? Like you still got the data. You still have to get the data to do that. AI is good at executing, but it's not good at knowing what the fuck you should be doing. Right? Like you got to still have a fucking brain, right? A lot of these guys are like, oh yeah, like I bet I'll just have AI write a bunch of copy for me on this lander. Boom, get it done in fucking, an hour. But how do you know it's even the right structure, right? How do you know that's even the right way to do it? You could just be scrapping all that copy here in the next fucking 3 days. It's just like, you got to start realizing what the fuck's going on. And there's so many guys that don't know what the fuck's going on. It just makes me sit here and like, holy fuck, like we could be running offers for agencies very, very soon. I think that's going to be kind of a next pivot up once we start getting really great results with the agency, really understanding customer success, fulfillment, customer acquisition, sales, literally the entire pipeline when it comes to seeing success as an agency. I believe that there's a lot of people out there that need fucking help with this type of shit. And I feel like it could be a really great offer to start branching into because I love helping people from like a consultative perspective, right? Like I was a landscaper last summer, and we were just working in the trenches. I didn't get to be on the back, and I didn't get to be in front of the computer, man. I didn't like it. I love being it felt like a job to me. But when I'm in front of the computer, I'm doing sales calls, I'm helping other business owners like super hands-on with their systems instead of being in the trenches doing the hands-on manual work. I love that shit way more. It doesn't even feel like work to me. It doesn't even fucking feel like work to me. You know what I mean? So like I feel like personally this is a great sign for all of us that are agencies that want to make more money, right? And that feel like we have enough experience to help other agencies. I wouldn't say I'm there yet personally with our results, but once we get a decent amount of results, 6 figures, 7 figures cash collected, there's definitely an opportunity for helping agencies because even with AI, bro, these guys have no fucking clue what they're doing. There's a lot of noobs out there, bro. In every business, you have like the ladder, right? You have the top dogs up top, and then you got the middle dogs, and you got the bottom feeders. And like the bottom feeders is probably like 30% of the market. And then like the middle guys that are kind of like just scraping by, these guys are probably about 60% of the market. And then the top dogs are probably about like 10% of the market, maybe less, right? And like it's really hard to be the top dog, right? And a lot of people like they grind in the bottom for a while, and then they can just slightly sort of get up into the middle, and then they're stuck. Like they just hit a ceiling. Like they can't get past anything, right? And like I feel like there's a huge opportunity here for the middle guys that are like stuck. Like they're still making like decent money, like 20K a month, but they can't get to the top level. They can't get to that 6-figure mark. And I feel like there's a huge opportunity for agencies and just in basically any niche to help people get to that top 10%, top 5%. So understanding that, dude, there's hella noobs out there. We have so much fucking advantages over a lot of the markets because especially the older guys, like they are not AI native, like I was talking about in the last video. And if you're not AI native, you better get fucking AI native, bro. Cool. So those are the data sets for today. Tomorrow's actions, pretty simple. We're going to get into the client fulfillment side, kind of fulfill on the upsells we were talking about. We're going to do some funnel ops for our own funnel. Nothing too crazy, but probably just adding a couple things there to make it a little more dialed. I think I got most of what I wanted to do done tonight. I just fixed the headline a tad bit. And then we're going to be documenting the fulfillment side of it a little bit for our client, getting that sort of thing documented so that way we're in a good space. I want to get a couple middle funnel videos done for people that do book a call. We've only spent about $13 on ads so far. Our ads have been like really sporadic. They haven't really been like spending. We have it at 25 a day. So don't know why it's not spending, but we should be seeing some results here, within the next couple of days. Like I said, hoping to see a couple calls come in the calendar. And then we're going to get into outreach or content, one of the two, probably more outreach. We'll see. And then we were also kind of thinking about potentially rebranding from BCGS to HBS just because of like a domain thing. I don't know. It could be such a side quest. I think our name's pretty solid for right now. And then getting into optimizing the client experience. How can we give the best client experience possible? And then obviously if we get a call booked, that's where all the priorities going. So this whole agenda could get scratched. But yeah, for right now, that's tomorrow's action. So this is day 30, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to subscribe to follow the journey. Turn that bell on every time I post. I know you're not going to regret it. All right. And then like this video and then also comment down below with any thoughts, questions, or advice for me. And then feel free to DM me on Instagram, link in the description down below. If you want to network, if you have any questions for me, I would love to hear from you. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Day 30. Keep grinding out there. We'll see you guys for day 31.